NSP's evolution is quite innovative. If you think of NSP, you want to think of a company that is very green. We believe in demystifying, being innovative, bringing new structures to the market. And we also believe in delivering on promises to our stakeholders, being investors, employees, and customers.
morning. All right, good morning, everybody. And I'm really sorry. It's never nice to start a meeting by saying sorry, but I have to say sorry because we ran 15 or 20, 26 minutes late to be precise. So apologies for making you wait. But you can still, leave on time. You just say yes to everything that you have, and we can close the meeting now, right? So that's one option you have in front of you. Um, just so that for people who don't know me, I'm Sanjeev. I'm the chairman of the board of directors at InfraCredit, and along with me, both in physical form and in virtual form, I have my other fellow directors. In physical form, I have Mike Chilton, who I have Mr. Muller, Mr. Vivian Chobo, and Chinua, the CEO, right? I have been informed by the company secretary that the quorum is duly formed. Am I right? Okay, so therefore I formally welcome you to what is the 9th annual general meeting. And I emphasize the word 9th because some of you may know that I am one of the old founding directors almost. And it's incredible that 9 years have passed from the company's creation. And it gives you a lot of joy and pride, obviously, to see what's been achieved. So thank you for that. Please sort of allow me also to acknowledge, apart from the people who are here in physical form, the people who are in some form of virtual form, the hybrid mechanism we have. So I think we have on the line Mr. Giles Reyes. We have Ms. Hamba. We have Mr. Kolawale Auduni. We have Ms. Ijeoma Taylor. We have Mr. Bu Hok Koo on the line, attending the board meeting virtually. We also have, I believe, Mr. Oseme Oboloje, representative from KPMG. Sorry if I'm mutilating your names. You're welcome to do that to my name too, all right? So that we can call it quits. And then Mr. Raymond Akokota, representative of Cardinal Stone Registrars. Thank you, sir. Mr. Abiodun Ogunoiki, representative of EY, my old firm. I hope it's okay from the time I left it. Then we have representatives from the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mrs. Amaka Okchuku. Is she here? Yeah. Again, my apologies. Okay. And representative from NASD OTC Securities Exchange, Chinwe Eke. Welcome. And we also, I think, have a representative from the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria. If I'm missing somebody, if that person is there, I acknowledge you. Okay. I also would like to recognize representatives of some of the company's shareholders who are present at this meeting. We have Mr. Tosho Suleiman representing the NSIA. Where's Tosho? I saw him before the meeting. Okay, there we go. Tosho, your name is being called. Okay. We passed all the resolutions, Tosho. It's too late. Okay. So Tosho, I was just acknowledging your presence. We also have, do we have Mr. Samson Vese from AFC? Not yet. And we do have representatives from all the other shareholders, Cardinal Stone, Access, ARM, Leadway Assurance, FCMB Pensions, Nipimemco, VG Pensions, and Crusader. I'm sorry, I don't have your names, so forgive me for not acknowledging you by name, but you're welcome. Thank you. And I would also like to recognize the members of the Statutory Audit Committee here present, Mr. Tunji Erinle and Ms. Yemisi Rofimi. How are you, sir? And everybody else, thank you. AGMs are meant to be democratic, so I never feel comfortable calling out some names and not calling out others. So please feel acknowledged and please feel wanted in this meeting, because that's the whole purpose. Can I just hand it over to you now to read the notice of the meeting?
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to stand if. Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to the AGM. You permit me, this is a bit of a long read, so just stay with me. You can find the notice of the AGM on page 4. I believe that's the page that's after the page that says chapter 1 about InfraCredit. The notice of the meeting is on that page. And I'll start. Notice is hereby given that the 9th annual general meeting of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC, the company, is scheduled to be held on Friday, 3rd July 2026 at the Lagos Continental Hotel, plot 52A, Kofua Bayomi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos at 10 a.m. to transact the following business. Ordinary business. To lay before members the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st December 2025, together with the reports of the directors, auditors, and the statutory audit committee thereon. To declare a dividend. 3, to re-elect the following directors who are retiring by rotation: Ms. Vivian Shobo, Ms. Hamda Amba, Mr. Kolawole Owoduni. 4, to appoint the following directors: Mr. Buhoku as an independent non-executive director, Mr. Michael Inzewi as a non-executive director. To authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors, to disclose the remuneration of the managers of the company, and to elect shareholder representatives to the statutory audit committee. That will be the end of the ordinary business. Special business. To consider and, if thought fit, approve the following resolutions as special resolutions of the company. That the amendment of Article 12.1 of the company's Articles of Association, which provides for the composition of the board, be and is hereby approved to read as follows. Unless and until otherwise determined by the company at the annual general meeting, the board shall comprise not more than 12 directors. That the appointment of Ms. Abimbola Suleiman as a non-executive director be and is hereby approved, subject to the shareholders' approval of Resolution 8.1 and subject to the approval of the SEC. That the conversion of the 8,022,905,000 irredeemable preference shares held by the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority to redeemable preference shares of ₦1 each on such terms and conditions as may be determined by the board be and is hereby approved. That further to the redemption of the redeemable preference shares held or previously held by Africa Finance Corporation, Infraco Africa Investment Limited, Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, and Leadway Assurance Company Limited, the reduction of the company's share capital from 61,421,392,875 naira divided into 35 billion preference shares of 1 naira each and 392,875 ordinary shares of 1 naira each to 36,832,130,194 naira by the cancellation of 24,589,262,681 preference shares of 1 naira each be and is hereby approved. That subject to the effective reduction of the company's share capital as contemplated under Resolution 8.3, the share capital of the company be and is hereby increased from 36,832,130,194 naira divided into 10,410,737,319 preference shares of 1 naira each and 26,421,392,875 ordinary shares of 1 naira each to 50,449,955,454 naira by the creation of 13,617,825,260 new ordinary shares of 1 naira each, ranking pari passu with the existing ordinary shares of the company. That pursuant to Resolution 8.4 above, the amendments of Clause 6 of the Memorandum of Association and Article 3.1 of the Articles of Association of the company be and are hereby approved to read as follows. The share capital of the company is 50,449,955,454 naira divided into 10,410,737,319 preference shares of 1 naira each and 40,39,218,135 ordinary shares of 1 naira each. That the directors be and are hereby authorized to raise equity in an amount up to 35,800,987,344 naira 27 kobo via a rights issue at the price of 2 naira 71 kobo per share at the allocation ratio of 1 new share for every 2 existing shares as of 31st December 2025 in such tranche or tranches and on such other terms and conditions as may be determined by the board. We're almost there. That the dividend declared by the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2024 in respect of 407,128,823 ordinary shares at 2 naira 7 kobo each be and is hereby applied towards the allotment of additional ordinary shares to those shareholders whose names appear below, who elected to receive the dividend entitlement in the form of a scrip dividend. Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, 283,300,000 190,844 ordinary shares. Leadway Assurance Company Limited, 50,125,565 ordinary shares, and ICO Insurance PLC, 73,612,414 ordinary shares. That further to the enactment of the Investment and Securities Act 2025 and the Securities and Exchange Commission Rules on Credit Enhancement Facility Providers 2025, the registration of the company with the SEC as a capital market operator be and is hereby approved. Amendment of Clause 3D of the Memorandum of Association of the company be and is hereby approved to read as follows: to provide technical and/or advisory services to issuers of securities in connection with the provisions of a credit enhancement facility. Last resolution. That for the purpose of giving full effect to the resolutions above, the directors be and are hereby authorized to do all such things as may be necessary, expedient, and or desirable, including but not limited to making applications to the Federal High Court, appointing professional advisors, entering into and executing any agreement or documents, making or approving share allotments, cancelling unallotted shares, further increasing the company's share capital, registering additional shares, securing all regulatory approvals, complying with applicable laws and regulations, and taking all such further steps as may be required to implement the resolutions, including any modifications thereto. With the permission of the shareholders present, I would like to take the notes to the notice as read. Thank you.
Thank you, Company Secretary. All of you have obviously received a copy of the annual report and the financials for the year ended 31st December 2025, which, as is usual, contains the chairman's statement, the CEO's statement, the report of the directors, audit committee, and the external auditor's report. I hope it's okay for us to consider them as read, and we can move on. I don't see any request for it to be read, so that's okay. If I may then call on the board evaluator, E&Y representative, to present their report on the board evaluation exercise for the financial year 2025, which is in any case set out on page 105 of the annual report. Who is going to take us through it? Yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And good morning, directors. Good morning, shareholders. My name is Abiodun Gunoike, partner at Ernst & Young. The report of external consultants on the board performance evaluation of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC. With your permission, I would like to read an abridged version. We have performed the evaluation of the board of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC for 2023 and 2024 in accordance with the FRC Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance 2018. The Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance NCCG 2018 mandates registered companies to undergo an annual evaluation of their corporate governance practices to ensure their governance standards, practices, and processes are adequate and effective. Subsection 15.1 of the code requires that the evaluation should be facilitated by an independent external consultant at least once in 3 years, while subsection 15.2 states that the summary of the reports of this evaluation should be included in the company's annual report and on the investors portal of the company. Based on our work, the Board of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC has complied with the requirements of sections 14.1 and 15.1 of the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance 2018 for the years 2023 and 2024. Signed by myself, Abiodun Gunoike, Partner and Head Financial Services Risk Management, Ernst & Young, West Africa. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any comments, or we can move on? Okay. All right, good. So I will now call on Mr. Mike Chilton, to a member of the Statutory Audit Committee, to present the report of the Statutory Audit Committee on behalf of the committee chairperson, Ms. Ijeoma Taylor, who is not here physically present. The report is set out on page 115 of the annual report. Mike, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a report to the shareholders of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC. In compliance with Section 4047 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, the members of the Statutory Audit Committee of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC hereby report on the financial statements for the year ending 31st of December 2025 as follows. We exercised our statutory functions under Section 4047 of CAMA 2020 and acknowledged the confirmation by the internal and external auditors. The management and staff fully cooperated with them in the conduct of their audit responsibilities. We confirm that the accounting and reporting policies of the company are in accordance with legal requirements and agreed ethical practices. We reviewed the scope and planning of the internal and external audit requirements and found them adequate. We reviewed the financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2025 and the findings on management matters in conjunction with the external auditor and the departmental responses thereon, and we are satisfied with the explanations obtained. We have kept under review the effectiveness of the company's system of accounting and internal control. And this is on behalf of the committee, the chairperson being Ijeoma Taylor. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mike. I don't see any comments, so we can move on. Could I call on the external auditors, the most important people at the AGM, KPMG Professional Services, to present their report, which is set out on page 123 of the annual report. So, hear you properly.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, directors and shareholders. My name is Osamir Baloje. Mr. Chair and shareholders, I would like your permission to read certain selected aspects of the report. On page 123, to the shareholders of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC, reports on the audit of the financial statements. Opinion: we have audited the financial statements of Infrastructure Credit Guarantee Company PLC, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 31 December 2025, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the statement of changes in equity, the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, the notes comprising material accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the company as at 31 December 2025 and of its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with IFRS accounting standards as issued by the International Accounting Standards Board and in the manner required by the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act 2011 as amended. On page 125, reports on other legal and regulatory requirements, compliance with the requirements of Schedule 5 of CAMA 2020. 1. We have obtained all information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audits. 2. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the company so far as appears from examination of those books. 3, the company's statements of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. Compliance with the FRC guidance on assurance engagement reports on internal control over financial reporting. In accordance with the requirements of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, we performed a limited assurance engagement and reported on management's assessments of the company's internal control over financial reporting as at 31 December 2025. The work performed was done in accordance with ISA 3000 and the FRC guidance on assurance engagement reports on internal control over financial reporting. We have issued an unmodified conclusion in our report dated 28th of February 2026. That report is included within the annual report. This audit report is signed by myself, Oseme Obaloje, on behalf of KPMG Professional Services. The report is dated 28th of February 2026, Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, directors and shareholders.
Thank you. I did say yours is the most important report for today, so I'll pause and see if there are any questions or queries on it. Okay, everybody seems pretty satisfied, so thank you for that. We just move on next to the next item, which is the first agenda item, which is the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2025 and the report of the directors attached to it. Any questions, comments, clarifications required on this? As is customary, since it's an AGM of the shareholders, you have all the rights and privileges of asking as many questions as you wish. And my job is easy. I'll just pass it on to the CEO. Okay, no questions. You silenced them, you know. Okay, let's then move on to the next agenda item, which is the declaration of dividend. As you would have seen from the report, the board has recommended for members' approval a declaration of total cash dividend of 8,279,328,948 naira and 89 kobo, comprising of ordinary dividends of 22 kobo per share and preference dividends of $1,713,015.57. If this dividend that is being recommended is approved by the members, it will be paid today, I'm assured, I've been told, today being Friday, 3rd of July, to the duly mandated accounts of the members who are so entitled and whose names appear in the register of members as at the close of business on 27th February 2026. Could I have somebody seconding this very important motion? Okay, we got Mike Shilton representing InfraCredit, as you. All this favor of this motion, please raise your hands. Okay. Anyone against this motion? We shall see you after the meeting. Anybody against the motion? No. Okay, good. So I declare the motion then carried. The next agenda item is the re-election of retiring directors, Ms. Vivian Shobo, Ms. Hamda Amba, and Mr. Kolawole Odumi. Directors retiring by rotation in accordance with Section 285 of CAMA 2020 and being eligible and having indicated their willingness to stay in office present themselves for re-election. I would just like to take a small pause here and just clarify based on a request that I received from one of the institutional shareholders that when we vote on this resolution, please note that there is a existing statute around the tenure period for the independent non-execs, which I understand is 5 years, right? And that must therefore be part of the overall process of reviewing the board members' renewals going forward. So we should not be forgetting about that clause. I also would like to highlight, especially in terms of the non-independent non-executive director's appointment, that there has been a request from the large number of the shareholders prior to this meeting that a criteria be applied for future reference so that at least a minimum shareholding of 10% supports the nomination of such directors, right? And I would just like that to be also part of the overall approval process that I'm asking you to consider. So given those 2 points of clarification, is there any comments or questions before I put it to the vote? Okay, if I can then ask all those in favor of the motion with those 2 points of clarification and amendments that I added, could I please see a show of hands approving this motion? Even silence will do. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And those against the motion? Always my most important moment of trepidation when I chair a meeting. Okay. All right. So I could then declare the motion carried, and congratulations to the retiring but renewed directors. Okay. Thank you. The next agenda item is the appointment of directors pursuant to section 274(1) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act. The board appointed Mr. Boo Hawk Koo as an independent non-exec director to fill a casual vacancy of the board at that point in time. For those of you who don't know Mr. Boo Hawk, Mr. Boo Hawk is a very seasoned senior professional with considerable experience and depth of expertise, possessing the requisite knowledge, skills, and experience that certainly supports the company's business and long-term objectives. His full profile incidentally is set out in page 86 of the annual report and also available, I understand, on the company's website. I hereby, and again, with the earlier caveat that I put about the criteria and the restrictions of the tenure of INEDs, just bear that in mind in terms of what I said earlier. Can I hereby move the appointment of Mr. Boo Hawk be hereby approved? Will a member second this motion before I put it on vote? Thank you. And then all those in favor of the motion, please. Okay, silence is consent, I assume. And anybody against? Okay, thank you. The motion's carried. Further on, moving on to directorial appointments, as everyone knows that there has been quite a bit of extremely welcome addition to the company's shareholder base, and a lot of very prestigious and significant shareholders have now become shareholders, institutions have now become shareholders of InfraCredit. So full credit to management and the board for having achieved that. So to ensure appropriate representation of the company's expanded shareholder base, following the private placement in 2025, and I think in June 26, we recommended the appointment of Mr. Michael Nozri as a non-exec director, subject to the resignation of one of our erstwhile colleagues, Mr. Michael Chilton, following the conclusion of this AGM, and subject to the subsequent approval of the SEC, of course, right? Michael is one of the founding partners and currently the group managing director of Cardinal Stone Partners Limited, an indigenous investment bank licensed by SEC as an issuing house, stockbroker, trustee, registrar, and asset manager, and also by the Central Bank of Nigeria to operate as a finance company. Again, his full profile can be accessed via the portal, investor relations portal on the company's website. I would therefore like to move hereby the appointment of Mr. Michael Nozri, and it be hereby approved, and subject to the resignation of Mr. Michael Chilton, which I believe we do have in writing from him, and subject to the subsequent approval of the SEC. I'll just take a pause here because I said a lot of things. So I hope it's clear what I tried to say. And would anybody please second this motion, if I could request? Anybody who could second? And again, please remember that this has to be read in the context of the two comments I made about the tenure limit for INEDs and the 10% qualification as shareholding for it to meet the minimum criteria for new board members. So all those in favor of the motion. So you did second it, Mike. Thank you. All those in favor of the motion, please. Thank you. And all those against the motion. Now is your time to speak. Okay. All right. I understand Mr. Michael Nozri is not with us in person. I assume he is there virtually. Could the camera hone in on him so that everybody can have a look at this gentleman? Is he on camera? Is he there we go. Michael, can you hear us, see us? Okay. All right. All right. So thank you and welcome to the board. Anything you wish to say, Michael?
Well, we're very pleased to be part of this of InfraCredit. We are going to complete, make our own control of the company. I think there is an echo in the background.
Okay, thanks, Michael. Unfortunately, the line is not very clear, but I take it that you are very pleased about this. So congratulations. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman.
Renewed directors. I see Mr. Buhawk. I see Ms. Hamda. Yeah, congratulations. The next item on the agenda is to authorize the board of directors to fix the remuneration of the auditor. I think it should really come after the report, not so late. Don't want to keep them in suspense. Section 408 of CAMA 2020 requires that the remuneration of the auditors be fixed at a company's general meeting or in such manner as the company in the general meeting may determine. I hereby therefore move that the directors be and hereby authorized to fix the remuneration of the company's auditors. Will a member second this motion, please? Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. All those against the motion? And the EY representative is not allowed to vote on this, so it's okay. Okay, I declare the motion carried. All right. The next agenda item is to disclose the remuneration of the managers. This is a requirement under section 238 of CAMA 2020. The remuneration of managers is disclosed in note 12 of page 166 of the annual report. And once you recover from the shock of it, can I then put it for noting. Any questions, queries on this particular item? No. Thank you. The next agenda item is the election of shareholders' representatives to the Statutory Audit Committee. The Statutory Audit Committee, for those of you who don't know, is a requirement of Section 404 of CAMA 2020 and in compliance with Section 404 of the same Act. The company's Statutory Audit Committee shall comprise of 3 shareholder representatives and 2 non-exec directors. The board appointees to the Statutory Audit Committee currently are Banji Fenitola and Mr. Michael Nezwe, subject to his appointment as a board member, we just formally approved just now. The following members have been nominated for election to the Audit Committee: representative from NSIA, representative from Leadway, and representatives from FCMB. Do we have the names of those? Not yet. Okay. But I want the shareholders to take note that there will be representatives, apart from the 2 gentlemen already there, from NSIA, Leadway, and FCMB. So it'll be accordingly expanded and restructured. All right. But we don't have the name. Okay. The secretary tells me that I must still go through the formality of highlighting that I need to get a vote on each of these from the shareholders. So the first candidate to be added will be from a representation from NSIA. The second candidate will be from Leadway, and the third will be from FCMB. If okay, can I ask we take all these 3 together, and those in favor of the motion, could they please raise their hands? Okay. And those against the motion? Okay, none. Thank you. So it was passed unanimously. The next item is what I would call, or what the secretary would like me to call, a special business, what would be defined as special business to be transacted at this meeting. The first special business is to approve the amendment of Article 12.1 of the company's articles, which provides for the composition of the board, where it says that unless and otherwise determined by the company at an annual general meeting, the board shall comprise not more than 12 directors. I hereby move the amendment to increase the maximum number of directors from existing 11 to the proposed 12 be and hereby approved. I would like to emphasize here, that before the meeting considers this request, we have a technical problem. It'll solve itself. Okay. Before the members present here decide to vote on the motion, I would just like to say that whilst this is a request for the members to approve, the board does believe, based on conversations with the shareholders, that this increase of the number of directors will be for a limited period of time, and it shall be post the AGM restored back to 11 within 60 days of this AGM. It's a temporary request, and I'll come to why that request is being made as well. Okay. So I just want the members here present to appreciate the context in which this request is being made. And now I will put it for vote. Can I have somebody seconding this motion? Thank you, Tosho. All those in favor of the motion? Okay, anybody against the motion? Okay, nobody, so I declare the motion carried. So further to the shareholders' approval of Article 12.1, as we just now did, and to ensure appropriate representation of the company's expanded shareholder base, the point I made earlier, because we now have some very exciting group of new shareholders that has joined. I hereby therefore move that the appointment of Ms. Abimbola Sulaiman be also hereby approved, subject to the approval of the SEC. Ms. Abimbola is an accomplished Africa-focused investment professional with over 20 years of experience spanning local, regional, and global organizations work. Her full profile can be accessed on the investor relation portal on the company's website. Can I please have a seconder for this? Thank you. Can I have those in favor of the motion, please raising their hands? Thank you. And all those against the motion, this is the time to speak. Okay. Is she on the call? Abimbola? Can we zoom in on her so that everybody can see her and congratulate her? Hello, Abimbola. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, again, the line wasn't very clear, but I take it that was consent on your part to accept the appointment. So congratulations to you on everybody's behalf. Okay, the next special business is to approve the conversion of 8,022,950,000 irredeemable preference shares held by NSIA to redeemable preference shares of Naira 1 each in compliance with Section 147 of CAMA 2020. I would like to therefore move that the conversion of the irredeemable preference shares held by NSIA to redeemable preference shares of Naira 1 each in such tranche or tranches and on such terms and conditions as may be determined by the board is hereby approved. Will a member second this motion? It's again you. Okay. What would we do without you? Okay. Mike is seconding. Okay. Okay. Can we have those in favor of the motions please raising their hands or being silent? All those against the motion, please don't remain silent. Okay. I don't see anybody. So that I declare the motion carried. The next special business is to approve further to the redemption of the redeemable preference shares previously held by Africa Finance Corporation, InfraCo Africa Investment Limited, Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, and Leadway Assurance Company Limited. The reduction, therefore, of the company's share capital from 61,421,392,875 Naira to 36,832,130,194 Naira by the cancellation of 24,589,262,681 preference shares of Naira 1 each. Just so that shareholders get a little bit of context, because whenever we talk of reduction, it can always have its own connotations. And I just want the members present to appreciate the success of this company that allowed it to meet the obligations that it had towards the original preference shareholders. There were certain terms and conditions under which the pref shareholders had invested, and it's a tribute to the company and its management that they managed to meet those obligations and are therefore in a position to pay back the preference shareholders. and, as you will have seen, to have successfully replaced and replenish the capital base of the company by bringing in very significantly prestigious investors. So take it as a positive uh, uh, milestone for the company, and I just wanted to say that, highlight that. On that basis, can I therefore ask somebody to second the motion? Okay, thank you so much. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. All those against? None. Thank you very much. I declare the motion carried. Right. It's a tongue twister, these numbers. So many billions and millions. The next special business is to approve further to the shareholders approval of the company's share capital. And remember, I contextualized it. The increase in the company's share capital from 36,832,130,194 naira to 50,449,950,454 naira by the creation of 13,617,825,260 new ordinary shares of Naira 1 each, ranking pari passu with the existing ordinary shares of the company. So members would note that the requested increase is actually higher than the earlier resolution where we had a request for reducing. So it just tells you that it's not only replacing one form of capital, but it's also expected to replenish it on top. Okay, so again, a hugely positive step, but as is my job, I hereby move that the increase of the company share capital be therefore approved. Could I please have a seconder for this motion? I'm not looking at you, Josh. Okay, right. All those in favor of the motion? I am looking at you. Okay. And I declare the motion carried. Oh, sorry. Anybody against the motion? No. Thank you. I declare the motion carried. Did I miss anything? Okay. That is later, right? Okay. 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 So it'll come later. Okay. All right. Sorry. Sorry, I just got a bit of clarity from the secretary. The next special business is to approve further to the shareholders approval of the increase in the company's share capital, the amendments of clause 6 of the memorandum of association and article 3.1 of the articles of association to read as follows. And here we go again. The share capital of the company is 50,449,955,454 naira, divided into 10,410,737,319 preference shares of Naira 1 each, and 40,039,218,135 ordinary shares of Naira 1 each. I hereby move that the amendments of clause 6 of the of the Memorandum of Association and Article 3.1 of the Articles of Association is hereby approved. Will a member please second the motion? Thank you. All those in favor, please say yes or raise your hands. All those against, if I may have any? No? Thank you. So the motion is carried. The next special business is to approve. It's kind of, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's a natural sequence of events, the last few resolutions, right? To try and come to the capital base that the company requires. So the next special business is to approve an equity capital raise in an amount up to 35,800,987,344 naira 27 kobo via a rights issue, which means all of you here have a right to subscribe to it, at the price of 2.71 naira per share at the allocation ratio of 1 new share for every 2 existing shares held as at 31st December 2025 in such tranche or tranches or any other terms and conditions as may be determined by the board. Before I move for this resolution to be adopted, I would also like to add a further point of comfort for the shareholders, because these are significant decisions and significant transactions that are likely to therefore happen out of these decisions, that there is a request which I am therefore highlighting, that once it's approved, this resolution, it should also be caveated so that when we say it may be in the terms and conditions as approved by the board, provided, and this is for the comfort of all shareholders, it kind of affects all of us, provided that the purpose of the rights issue and the intended use of the proceeds are disclosed in the rights issue documentation. It usually is done, but we just want to make sure it is. And within 3 months following completion of the rights issue, the board shall present to the shareholders a comprehensive implementation framework covering the operating model transition, the expansion strategy as per the board's expansion strategy, and implementation roadmap, the capital allocation framework, and expected shareholder value creation metrics and implementation milestones. It reads as a mouthful, but the reason why shareholders wanted me to highlight it at this meeting is so that shareholders don't feel that they're being asked to approve a significant rights issue without certain bells and whistles and caveats being put on what it will be used for and how it will be monitored and reported upon, right? That's the reason why I added this clarity. I have no problem with it. That's why I thought I'll read it out. Okay. So given that clarity and given the request for this to be minuted as well, what I said, I hereby move that the equity capital raise of an amount of 35,800,985,344 naira 27 kobo via rights issue at a price of 2.71 per share at the allocation ratio of 1 new share for every 2 shares as at 31st December 25 in such tranche or tranches or any other terms and conditions as may be determined by the board is hereby approved with the additional clarification I put just now. So will a member please second this motion? Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor of the motion? Thank you. Those against? This is a very compliant AGM. What's going on here? You know? Okay. The next special business is to approve the application of the dividend declared by the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. Not the past financial year, the year before. In respect of 407,128,823 ordinary shares of naira 2.07 each, towards the allotment of additional ordinary shares to the following shareholders who elected to receive their dividend entitlement in the form of scrip dividends. A huge congratulations to those shareholders who chose to not take cash, okay, but to reinvest in the business. That's a huge sign of support and solidarity. So well done, Chinua. So the entitlements in the form of a scrip dividend are to NSIA, 283,390,844 ordinary shares, Leadway, 50,125,565 ordinary shares, and ICO Insurance PLC, 73,612,414 ordinary shares. I hereby move that the application of the dividend declared by the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2024 in respect of 407,128,823 ordinary shares be and is hereby approved. Congratulations to all those shareholders who supported this. Will a member please second this motion? Thank you. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. All those against the motion? None. I declare the motion carried. The next special business is to approve the registration of the company as a capital market operator. Following the enactment of the Investment and Securities Act 2025 and the Securities SEC rules for credit enhancement facility providers in 2025, the company, your company, is required to be registered with the SEC as a capital market operator and to apply for licensing as a credit enhancement facility provider. This will ensure that the company's core business of providing credit enhancement will be in full compliance with the Investment and Securities Act 2025. I must confess that when a development like this happens, I get very amused, because when innovation leads to a successful venture and regulation then has to follow, that's a real triumph in terms of how capitalism and innovation works. So thank you, SEC, for putting us into a box now and be able to regulate us. But congratulations to Chinua for making all this happen. Okay. So I would like the members to appreciate it. I hereby move that the registration of the company with the SEC as a capital market operator and the consequent licensing of the company as a credit enhancement facility provider be hereby approved. Will a member please second this motion? Thank you. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. All those against the motion? Okay, thank you. I declare the motion carried. It's still into special, eh? The next special business is to approve further to the shareholders' approval of the registration of the company, as you did just now, as a capital market operator, the amendment of clause 3D of the company's memorandum of association to read as follows: to provide technical and advisory services to issuers of securities in connection with the provision of a credit enhancement facility. I hereby move that the amendment of clause 3D of the company's memorandum of association be and hereby approved. Will a member please second this motion? Thank you. All those in favor? Anybody against? Thank you. Declare the motion carried. The last special business is to authorize the directors to do all such things as may be necessary, expedient, or desirable, including but not limited to making applications to the Federal High Court, appointing professional advisors, entering into and executing any agreements or documents, making or approving share allotments, cancelling unallotted shares, further increasing the company's share capital, registering additional shares, securing all regulatory approvals, complying with applicable laws and regulations, and taking all such further steps as may be required to implement and give full effect to all the resolutions and businesses, including any modifications thereto. It's quite a mouthful, but I can assure you it's all within the professional responsibilities of a board member. I hereby move that the directors are so authorized to act. Will a member please second this motion? I'm looking at you. Okay. Will those in favor of the motion please raise your hands? Thank you. Anybody against? Nobody. Thank you. I declare the motion carried. Ladies and gentlemen, this now brings us Finally, to the close of business to be considered at this meeting. On behalf of the board and management of the company, I thank you for your time, your presence, and your continued engagement in the affairs of the company, particularly the last point, your continuous engagement with company's management and company's board. Okay. We deeply appreciate your support and participation. Please continue to do so and stay safe. And I have been instructed to tell you that there is a lunch after this. So please do come and join us. Make your way to the main restaurant on the ground floor. Thank you. Any other business anybody wishes to raise at this point in time? If not, I would just like to end. Sorry, you want to say something? Okay, we have Toshio from NSIA. No?
I'll just stand here. I just wanted to say, this journey started in 2016. You guys have been, the ones that have been on the board all along are visionaries. You guys are pioneers. I mean, when we started this business, it didn't look like anything like that was possible. But here we are with more than 300 billion raised by this company and, several projects that are ordinarily not entitled to attract certain kind of capital are able to do so. So, we're very happy with the engagement the board has had with shareholders. We're very happy with the success of this company. We're very happy with the way it's been led. And we just want to, on behalf, I believe I speak for everybody, on behalf of all the shareholders, thank the board, especially its chairman, and thank executive management for the fantastic work that you have done over the years. And we want to pledge that the shareholders will continue to do everything possible, not only to support, but to enable the company to be able to achieve the strategic objectives that have been set by the board and agreed by the shareholders. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those kind words. And for those of you who don't know the identity of this gentleman, he works for NSIA. So he was basically congratulating himself. All right. But thank you everybody for being here, for being patient, and for allowing us to start the meeting 26 minutes late, if I remember. Okay. My apologies for that. And thank you again to everybody who came. Thank you. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Sticky picture. Sticky picture. Sticky picture. Right.